Hey there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back. I'm your host, PattSun, and today we're gonna be taking a look at r/Surviving Infidelity, where Opie found out that he just wasted a decade of his life. Let's begin. How do we save our relationship after my girlfriend of 10 years cheated on me multiple times? Okay, quick answer, you don't. Posted by Reddit user Peach Sweet.
My girlfriend of 10 years had been acting noticeably more distant towards me and told me she needed time apart to spend a night with her mom. She told me she would call me when she got there and never did. I decided to drive past her mom's and noticed her car wasn't there at 3 a.m. I do not confront her about it initially. Finally reaches out to me the next day and said she needs to spend another night, so upsettingly I agree and give her space and mention I drove past and her car was not there. She said I was insane and she was just out for a drive because she couldn't sleep. Finally, she texts me 7 a.m. yesterday that she is home. When I returned from work, I try and ask her how everything was at her mom's and she couldn't answer many questions. Then she breaks down and told me she cheated and was staying at a coworker's, and after some talking found out she had cheated with him a month before on their lunch break. I told her I did not want to throw away 10 years and if she was willing try and work it out, but she would need to make changes including cutting him off and finding a new job. She told me she can cut him off but it's unfair for her to have to get another job. But I cannot trust her being around this person. What can we do to help rebuild our trust? We have both said we'd like to make it work. She has since said she is willing to leave her job.
So before I give my own opinion, let's see what Reddit user What Doesn't Kill You has to say.
Do not have sex with her until she gets tested for STD and she gets a pregnancy test and shows you the results. Ask her to leave the job starting today. That means after work she updates her resume and gets on employment sites. It should not take longer than an hour or two tonight. She still has the job for now, but she is demonstrating that she is making steps to leave. Accept the fact that she may still continue the affair. She probably has feelings for this guy. She's probably been lying about the length and frequency. If they hooked up at lunch a month ago, most likely something had been going on a few weeks or months before that. Ask her to send a message to the affair partner that she is ending the affair, wants no contact except work-related. Will tell her boss or human resources that he is harassing her if he steps over the line. Then ask her to show you the message before she sends it. The message should not include any niceties like how she'll always remember him, etc. She should be able to do this in about 15 minutes or less after work. Ask her to block him on all devices and accounts and shows you the blocking. She should be able to do this in about 15 minutes or less after work. If he has a girlfriend or wife, let that person know about the cheating and ask that person to let you know if the affair relapses, and you will do the same. You should do this, not your girlfriend. Ask her who else knows about the affair and who encouraged it, who discouraged it, and who was neutral about the affair. I recommend getting rid of any so-called friends who encouraged the affair. You may find you are hurt if a person you consider a friend knew about the affair and didn't tell you about it, even if they discouraged it. You have to decide who you want to deal with going forward. My personal line is that anyone who is not a supporter of our relationship is not a friend. Only have friends who support the relationship. Ask her to write down the narrative of the affair, how it started, how frequent, the nature of it, feelings involved, and how she rationalized that it was okay to deceive you that way. She should be able to do this in about 3 to 4 hours one morning on a day she is not working. Ask her to not delete any text messages. Ask her to show you the messages between him and her so she can give some evidence to back up her story of the affair. That is, you want to see that she is actually being truthful. Ask her to get and read these 2 books, How to Help Your Spouse Heal from Your Affair, and Not Just Friends. You should read these books too. I suggest taking 2 days off of work and reading the books. It shouldn't take more than a couple days to read both if you do it all day. The idea is to get the ball rolling and not drag it out. All this should be done within a week, easily, except the actual switching jobs. Might take 3 months or so, depending on her occupation and location. I am basing it on someone who is motivated to leave in order to save their 10-year romantic relationship that they value greatly. When you are dealing with a cheater who just got caught and initially dragged feet about leaving the job, you have to wonder how motivated she will be. She may be saying what you want to hear until she can figure out what she really wants. You, him, or neither. Her initial plan was to have both you and him, but you found out. A lot of cheaters go back to the affair and see if they can have both after things settle down.
Pretty solid advice, I have to admit, but there's just one little problem. Even if she does everything perfectly, It doesn't change the fact that she's still a lying, unfaithful girlfriend that can lie to OP's face without batting an eye. I do agree with reporting them to HR and letting the affair partner's wife know if he has one. Look, OP, she failed every conceivable potential wife test. Pursuing this relationship any further will be just a colossal waste of everyone's time. Only a damn donut will want to reconcile with a woman like that. This woman doesn't respect you. She doesn't treat you well. She doesn't protect or take care of your heart, your mind, and your spirit. So she's completely fucking useless other than sex.
Why are you still here?
Why would you even want to be with her? She completely destroyed a decade-long relationship for a fling. So why spend another 10 years filled with distrust and anxiety? OP, you definitely need some self-respect. You need a spine and you need to grow one really fast. And now for today's second story. I got cheated on after 10 years. Huh, that's weird.
I feel like we've been here before. Have we been here before?
Posted by Reddit user, no? Okay. Thanks for answering that, OP.
Okay, this is going to be a long one. So me and my ex had been together for 10 years. I broke up with him 2 months ago. Recently, our relationship was just filled with a lot of arguments and some days apart here and there. I live and take care of my mom who has cancer. He has his own room at his parents' house. They live an hour away.
Red flag.
Months before we broke up, I noticed everything I'd do would irritate him, and when I'd ask him what's wrong, he'd say nothing.
Is that also a red flag?
Crimson.
I never understood why he couldn't just tell me what was bothering him so we could fix it. Maybe 4 months before we broke up, he told me someone new got transferred to his job. He works 5 minutes away from my house. He said it was a girl and I didn't think anything of it. A week before I broke up with him, I bought him lunch and took it to his job. I don't know why, but something made me ask HM if he was talking to someone new. He looked at me and said no. Are you okay? A day later, I cried to him and expressed to him how alone I felt in our relationship. My mom fighting cancer. My car had just been stolen. My hair was falling out. I was so depressed. There were days I'd cry next to him in bed and he wouldn't hug me or ask me if I was okay. I told him I really just needed him. The next day he went to work. I never went through his phone or watch or anything. I trusted him. But he left his watch at my house that day and I went through it. I found messages of him and his coworker. I wasn't sad at that moment. I was shocked. I went to his job and asked him what was going on. All he said was, "We can talk about it later." I couldn't believe that this guy that was my best friend at one point, spent 10 years of my life with, could see how hurt I was and act like it wasn't that big of a deal. "We can talk later." I told him I was done and I left. So the night I cried to him, he laid in my bed and texted her until 2 in the morning. A week later, he calls me and says all they do is drink at work. Whatever, that conversation ends, and I still don't feel any better about the situation. A month later, and he starts texting me about how sorry he is, how much he loves me. Then a person you may know shows up on a friend's Facebook. And it's the coworker he cheated on me with, and a picture of her in his car. I'm a nail tech in my city. I had a client today whose son works with my ex, and she says the day I went to confront him at his job, she was there, hiding. And he goes to her house. He's been texting me, "Good morning, hope you have a good day," since yesterday, and all I do is sit here and think, is he fucking kidding me? It's so fucked because every time I have to go run an errand or do something, I have to pass by his job and I'm reminded every day what he did to me. Even though I didn't do anything wrong, I cry every night because of the way he hurt and disrespected me. I know I won't ever go back to him, but sometimes I think about the person he was to me, and it makes me so sad to think everything is different now. I thought I felt alone while I was with him, but now I feel 1,000 times worse. There's nothing I can do or tell myself to get out of these moments of sadness. They can last 5 minutes or one thought and ruin my whole day. I don't know what to do. I know I deserve better. I was good to him. But sometimes I feel like I just want to hug him because at one point he was the only person I had. And to know all his texts about being sorry are lies, because I know how he acts when he cares. They just leave me so confused. I wish I knew the reason why. How could he hurt me like this knowing how much I was already hurting?
OP, here's another sad reality for you. He doesn't care how his actions will make you feel, how his lies could break you as a person. He doesn't give a flying fuck because he's a cheater and all cheaters are just like that. One thing that you can do right now is to block him and move on. Stop thinking about why he cheated. It doesn't matter. You can also put it back in his face as a reminder of what he has lost. box of any and all of the things he gave you or anything that you have that reminds you of him. Mail it to him with no notes or letter, just the items. Look man, here's your step-by-step instructions by your creepy Uncle PattSun. Let everyone know what he has done, including HR, focus on your mother, stop dating for now, and most importantly, go to therapy. Good luck, OP. Viewer support is the best way for me to remain independent and continue bringing you these daily videos, which will always be here on my channels for you to watch absolutely free. So please consider subscribing to me on Rumble and on YouTube. Both will be linked in the description box down below. Thanks for listening everyone. If you even somewhat enjoyed today's story, make sure to give this video a thumbs up, and if you really like it, consider subscribing to PattSun to never miss a future upload. Stay strong.